Go. Well, hello everybody. My name is Xenoras. Welcome to the UKSG. I'm playing Celeste 80% for you. Some quick things you need to know about the game. If you haven't seen Celeste before, it's awesome. Play it. It's a precision platformer, which means there's almost no downtime to the run. The only downtime you can have is between chapters, and we usually only time in-game time, so when you watch a speedrunner, that might happen quite often. I will just go through all of it in one go. This game consists of 9 chapters so far. For any percent, we're just playing the first 7, because this is where the main story ends. There are a lot of hard strats in this run. Some of them I will attempt, some of them I will not. And yeah, I think the rest I will explain on the go. So I'm getting ready for time now. I'm counting, and then we'll go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we are starting with the prologue here. We cannot dash yet. So this game consists of 3 main ways to move, except for running, of course. So you can jump, you can climb, and you can dash. And the prologue is just to introduce the story and to make you familiar with walking and jumping. And right here at the end of prologue, in a cutscene that I will skip, you would get a dash. So now from the next chapter on, we'll have the dash. And in this game, you can combine your movement means to very nice and clean and fast movement. So yeah, you will see me doing that. I'm probably not explaining all of it because there's a lot going on. I will start with explaining the chapters. So every chapter has like a unique mechanic. This one has those zipper blocks. And yeah, as you can see, city is a little snowy thing. A very short chapter compared to the others. We are expecting like a 110, 115 here. Just for reference, the last chapter is gonna be about 10 to 11 minutes. So you see, this game gets a lot longer the farther you go. Which is very nice, since if you start the game, you just want to get familiar with the movement. And this is easier for a small and little chapter like City. And as you get more familiar with the game, you can go very much longer and faster. So we're already coming up to the end here. Okay. So this is chapter 1 and 117 was it, I think. 111. Oh, okay, that's okay. 1 death, not too bad. Going on to Old Side. I'm skipping all the cutscenes, but I can really recommend playing this game for the story. A lot of people really love the story, me too. And it very much deals with self-doubt and overcoming your obstacles, which is a theme at least I could relate to. Maybe you can too. So chapter 2, as you can see, I just activated those dream blocks here. Very nice mechanic. You can just dash through them and they spit you out on the other side. Another thing coming up, which is kind of story related, I will spoil that much. It's the bad side in you. There she is. So the main character is Madeline, and her bad side is aptly called Badeline. And she's chasing us for reasons. I should not die here. So okay, maybe I should concentrate a little more, not think too much about what I'm going to say. As you can see, precision platformer, you really need to be sure of what you're doing, otherwise you will die. And the death can be pretty taxing depending on where you die. Like, if I would die at the end of this screen like I'm doing right now, just to showcase this to you guys. So look at that, that's not a good thing to do, don't do that. Yeah, it's very much costly. And yeah. Maybe to the movement. You saw me doing a lot of dashing. And there are different ways you can dash in this game. There's just normal dash. And if you combine that with jumping and yeah, and walls, you can do different things. Like what I'm doing most of the time is wave dashes, which work like you jump, then you dash to the ground, and that makes so that you can get a speed boost as well as a dash refresh, so that you can dash a second time. Very useful for speedrunning. There are different ways you can do that too. Like, you do not need to jump necessarily. You can just stay on the ground, and if you stay on the ground for like 9 frames, you get your dash back. Mechanic you wouldn't see in casual playthroughs, and you probably, if you played the game, you haven't done that knowingly. But if you speedrun this game, this becomes a necessity. So, moving on to resort here. Oh, come on. And now we have the first chapter that is a bit longer, and the first challenging chapter for most people, because as you can see, we are visiting a very old hotel with a lot of dust and broken things. And the dust is so old, it began to live. Which formed those little dust bunnies here. Those moving things, they are called dust bunnies. And they move on cycles. On cycles you need to learn in order to run the game, in order to even finish the rooms. And this can be hard at first. But in general, this is a very nice chapter, because yeah, it's not only the dust bunnies that gets added, but there's a checkpoint coming up where you can actually choose the way you want to go, which is a pretty neat mechanic. Pretty neat design. So now we're entering the huge mess chapter, and you can see that there's a lot of mess. A big, huge mess. And we're helping this guy here, called Oshiro, to clean it all up. So we're talking to him right now. Hey Oshiro, and now we can change what part we want to clean up first. And as any % speedrunners, we want to clean up the chests first. So I'm heading down in the chest section here, going down and activating the chest switch in the next room. And now all the chests are cleaned up. They are cleaned up in the whole chapter. So no chests anymore anywhere. And now we are heading to the books section, which then removes all books. And the neat thing is that if you do a different order, you will get a different result. And a different room layout for the other parts. Very cool. Oh, you may have noticed those red strawberries. You can collect them. There are 175 in this game, and there's a whole speedrun dedicated to that, which is insane. And insanely more hard than any %. But it's also very fun to watch, so you can check that out on speedrun.com, I guess. There are people who collect everything in like 10 minutes more, only 10 minutes more than I need to finish the game. And there's an 8 chapter in this run too, in the up run. Up for all red berries. So this was the next checkpoint. Now we're heading into the elevator shaft. And elevator shaft has a pretty big skip, which was discovered by the speedrunner Demo Johnson, if I'm informed correctly. He found the so-called Demo Dash. The Demo Dash lets you dash with a reduced hitbox, with a smaller hitbox. And that makes so that you can actually dash through some of those dust bunnies here. And I will show you that in a second. So let's see whether I can get it. Yeah, here we go. I just skipped like 15 seconds. Usually you would have need to go down, grab a key, open a door, come back, and go back up, but we don't need to do that, which is nice. And now Oshiro gets mad at us for leaving the hotel. Oh. So he starts chasing us with a very big head for some reason. Oh, nope, that's not the way.
Okay, do you have some time for a quick donation?
Always. If you have a good donation, just interrupt me.
Okay, alright. We have a $50 donation from Butters saying
Yo.
ESA, heart, speedruns, heart, good luck to all runners, heart.
Thank you very much.
They donated $10 towards the IL World Records in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and $40 towards Colin McRae Rally Championship Ascent with the Seat Ibiza. Oh, that might be an interesting one. So, little reminder that the IL World Records were $50. We're already $10 through, so if you want to see this being met before, I think it's 4 PM or something like that. If you want to see it donated during these 4 hours, don't hesitate to donate.
Yep, thanks very much for every donation. Now we're heading into, or we are already in the infamous Golden Ridge, a chapter which looks nice, but is very, very hard once you start speedrunning it, because the mechanics that are introduced here are, for one, the green bubbles, like this one, and they're just neat. Get a little speed boost in a direction and that's it, but you also have wind, and wind can be very, very hard, because it changes your feeling of dashing, really, or of moving in the game. And the wind is not always the same, how do you say that? It's not as strong as in every screen. So different, how do you say that? Sometimes it's like only a little bit wind, sometimes it's more. Okay, I didn't get it. Sorry, this was one of the harder tricks in the game. I wanted to attempt it once, but I will go for the safe way now. Oh, come on. Okay. Sadly, I'm not hitting the hard tricks right now, so I'm going for the safe ways and still die. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, as you can see, Ridge is kinda hard. It's probably the chapter I struggled most to learn. But if you really hit a good run, it looks awesome. There are some very, very cool strats. Nope. Oh, come on. Okay, maybe I should even dial down one level more, just to make sure I'm not dying too much. That's the thing with precision platformers. Well, on the good side, you can squeeze out so much time just by movement alone, and there's probably no upper limit on how good you can get at this game. But on the flip side, it gets more and more punishing the further you get in this game. So if you lose 10 seconds to one death, this is already run killing at some point. And the strat you try to go for maybe only saved like 0.3. But that's how it is with this game. So we are closing up here for Rich. Those are the last few rooms. And then we are already kind of half through the game. So this is chapter 4, only 3 more to go. But those 3 are longer than those 4 we already did. So there's still a lot to come. Whew. Okay, very punishing deaths there. Going on into Temple. Temple has another very unique thing, which is that we don't finish it. We don't finish the A side of Temple. And it works like that. In this game you have A sides, like the normal story progression levels, if you want. And there are some levels called B-sides. And B-sides are the harder version of the A-sides, and they have no story. But because B-sides can be shorter than A-sides, and they still unlock the next chapter if you finish them, we can unlock the B-side here. Oh, I did get it! Yeet! That was yeet, a very neat speed tag. Yeah, I just wanted to say we are getting the cassette, which is like the key for the B-side. And once we get that, we will quit out and play the B-side, since it is on average 30 seconds faster, I think. And we can still unlock the next chapter, so it's neat. But this also has a downside. Not even is this chapter faster, but it contains one of the hardest tricks in the game, which I will attempt exactly once. You would attempt it like 2 to 3 times in a full run because of in-game timer, but since we run on real time right now, it's not worth to go back and try it again, because you need to restart checkpoint and go all the way through this room here, this very room, to do... Oh. Okay, I'll stop talking for a second.
Do you want me to plug a couple of things in the meantime?
Already done, but go ahead. No, wait, let me explain that for a second. Okay. So, what I just did there is called the Bubs Drop, named after Babai, the also called ARP God because he is ARP World Record holder. What I did there was I entered a room and then I left it in a way that was not intended by the game. Then I come back to the room before, but the room does not have a spawn point for people who come in the room that way. So it just puts me to the next spawn point, which happens to be on the right side, so that I can go to the next room and really save a lot of way that way. Okay, so now you can go ahead.
Okay, sure thing. Let's do a couple shoutouts. So first, thank you for watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. Normally we're supposed to be a 2-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year in Glasgow, Scotland, but due to the situation with the current world event, we are bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours. And we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity that supports people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 100% of your donations, and only of your donations, will be supporting Crisis. And here's more about what they do in their own words. Let me read some here. We offer one-to-one support, advice, and courses for homeless people in 12 areas across England, Scotland, and Wales.
How did I die there? Okay, so this room, as you can see, is very hard if you don't have your strat going the way you want to. But it's fine now, yeah. For some reason I died there, which is not... which is very unusual. Shouldn't happen. Oh. Ooh, that was close too. Okay. Whatever, this is the second to last room here, and we're almost through with 5B. And that's it. So 5B done, and now since we finished the B side, the A side for chapter 6 will get unlocked, and we will just continue with that. Oh. Okay, next mechanic that is introduced in the game is this feather here. And I'm actually controlling that with analog stick, since you can do 360 degree movement with it. Yep, that was leg skip, also a very notorious skip, which saves like 6 seconds I think, but people struggle to learn it at first. It's a very neat trick, once you get it. And not too hard to get it consistently. Oh, yeah, and we also have those cabin blocks here, named after the audio guy at Mad Max Games, the company that made the game. And as you can hear, they kinda laugh or something like that. But they're helping, so good guys. Maybe I can also shout out the mod community for this game. Celeste has a very big modding community, which with mod called Spring Collab, which came out a month ago, which is very, very big, like 80 plus maps from many different contributors. And they have the Temple of Kevin's, which is a very nice level. Needed to think about that. Oh, I always need to think about that when seeing Kevin's now. Another mechanic in this chapter, bumpers. Bumpers are the closest thing to RNG you get in this game. Everything else is very, very straightforward. And bumpers are not exactly RNG, but they are moving. And depending on pixels where you hit them, you get a very different kind of speed boost. So that, for example, was a little off and already threw me out of the whole strat. But that's just how it is with this game. Funny thing is, I think Noel, was it? Said that he deliberately made them to to anger us gamers. Just so we have a little bit to struggle. A little thing we can struggle with. Yeah, so actually very, very big part of story is happening here. We'll see Battleland again. And we're at the point, sorry for spoilers, but I guess you can guess. We are fighting her in about 30 seconds. so that we can fight our bad side and finally move on and be stronger than we were before. That's the goal of this chapter. Okay, this was the so-called Battle and Boost. Very neat trick. Very easy to do also. Can recommend. Probably one of the faster, of the cooler looking strats in this game, which are easy to accomplish. So yeah, here we see Bellland trying to kill us, but we are not letting that happen. We want to fight her, battle our bad side. And we're doing that all the way through now. Oh, I think I never mentioned dash crystals, but as you just saw, if you collect one, it refreshes your dash. So there are rooms where you kind of plan around that. And those rooms usually look extra fast, because you can dash more in a shorter amount of time. But you can get greedy, as I was right there. And as I mentioned before, there are a lot of points in the game where you can get greedy for frames, just because you want to hit a corner cleaner or save another point 1. And you're sacrificing 10 seconds there if you die. But this is also very rewarding feeling when you get it. And that's why we always go for that. Always go for the little time saves. So, we finished the first part of the fight. Now we're entering the second. Now Madeline has another trick up her sleeve, which is those little moving stones. She wants to anger us with them, but obviously as speedrunners we are using them to our advantage. Because in this game, if you're on a moving platform and you dash or jump, the movement or the momentum you do and you get from your own jump gets added up to the momentum of the block, which you can see here. So you can get very fast with very little that you need to do. Just stand on a moving platform and that's it. Oh, close. There's a neat cycle you can get there. Closely missed it. And here we go. Now that we are... Oh, we have defeated our bad self. We became friends again. And now we're stronger than before, because now we have 2 dashes. And this was, all in all, a very good reflection for me. Better than my average. 620. 620, guys, you know what that means. That's a Celeste insider. Probably ask for that in CelesteCon, you will get the answer. Oh yeah, there's a Celeste Discord. When you want to either speedrun the game or just want to discuss and well, spend more time with the game in general and the people they play it, you can join the Discord. There are very, very nice people there, helping you with everything you need and giving you everything you want. So feel free to join. Everyone is welcome. Yo, this is the last chapter now. The biggest one, the hardest one. Oh, and the one where I kinda mess up. That never happened before. I guess you always need at least one moment of that never happened before in a marathon. Yeah, the theme of this is that not only we have 2 dashes now, but we have Madeline as herself helping us. And we are revisiting every chapter we have played so far in a shorter version. So if you can remember the city, the first chapter we encountered in this run, we are in it right now again, but probably at a different location, so that it doesn't look exactly like the one. But you can see the zipper blocks, the general theme of the design, and everything city has is here. But not only city, we also visit the other chapters. And now, for example, we're exiting city and entering so-called 1000 meters. Because Celeste is based on a real mountain, which we are climbing. So we are at 1000 meters now, the goal is at 3000. And now we are in a second chapter again with the dream blocks. There is a cool mechanic in this. Yeah, in Summit Old Side especially, which you probably don't see if you're not familiar with the game, but what I'm doing is called Dream Hypering. So now that we have 2 dashes, I can not only dash through the dream blocks and jump normally, I can also do a very fast hyper dash out of the dream block, which get used in this part of the game, and it feels very nice. It has a very nice feeling. That's what I wanted to say. And here's probably the hardest part of the Summit chapter, which is the resort part. But as with everything in this game, it's not only the hardest, but also the coolest if you get all the fast movement stuff. So what I'm doing here is basically baby strats. Oh, and yeah, as you can see, I'm still failing. But this room here is very cool. Oh, damn it, I was too fast there. Not patient enough. Come on. Yeah, okay. I wanted to go too fast there. If you dash to the ground and you're hitting the edge, all your momentum gets killed. And that is what's happened there. That's why I didn't get a strat, which is sad. And if you want to see some really, really nice movement, watch the top runs. They're insane. Oh, that was 1500 meters. Coming up to 2000. The rich part. Golden Ridge all over again. Oh, I think I haven't talked about those clouds here. Very nice little springs, spring-like structures. And some of them disappear if you use them, some of them don't. Okay, if you have donations, feel free, because the next few rooms are quite long. Oh, come on.
Okay, sure thing. We actually don't have donations right
Oh.
now, but let me check if we have a couple of things. Oh, sure. I can talk about the different, the different bits we're going to have over the next hours. We're going to have a new Super Lucky Stale, attending the Soggy Boggy Boys concerts. So if you want to see that happening during the run of New Super Lucky Stale, that will happen about 2 hours from now. Donate $50 during the next 2 hours. Then we have the IL World Records on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Right now we're at $10 out of 50. So if you want to see that happening, don't hesitate to donate before, I'd say 4 hours from now, probably. And then finally, another incentive that might happen before the end of the day is the Sonic 2006 Mission Select Glitch run. It's an MSG run. It's pretty fast, about 10 to 12 minutes, but it's really interesting to see. And if you want to see that run happen before your very eyes, don't hesitate to donate $75 before, I think it's, within the next 6 to 7 hours. And also we would like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Also because, besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they're sharing gear, technical assistance, and also the sponsors. By the way, there's the Break the Record Live Sonic Adventure DX Edition that is coming up from 13th of October to the 1st of November. If you want to see that, be sure to check out ESA's channel during these days, from the 13th of October to the 1st of November.
Alright, thank you very much. What I did in the last room there was the door skip. I hit it first time, so my run is valid now. Yeah, I'm very glad, So, door skips are a meme in the community because they don't actually save that much. And before Demo Dash era, they were much harder to accomplish. Now you can just demo dash through with a reduced hitbox and you pretty much get it every time. But before it wasn't really worth going for. And still, since they are hard and save absolutely nothing, they became a meme. Oh, what am I doing? I think that's the lore behind that. Okay, that also never happened before. Interesting. Maybe a thing for all who want to speedrun out there. You won't ever get everything. So the run where you hit every strat you want to go or you go for is a miracle run, which happens like one time in a year. Which is way more important as a speedrunner, is that you have backup strats and that you know what to do if you fail the attempt you're going for. Yeah, this is the essence of speedrunning, I guess. So don't ever expect your run to be perfect. If it happens to be, wonderful, but be more prepared for when it doesn't go well. And probably the biggest thing is to not let yourself get demotivated if you don't hit something. Because especially in the late game, where you get the feeling that everything's on the line, and then you miss a strat, you die, like that for example, you tend to tilt and then die even more, even though that would still be like a PB, or sometimes even a world record for some level of players. So just enjoy the run, even though not everything goes well, or even when not everything goes well. So we are coming up to the ending here. This is the, I think it's already the last screen. No, the second to last. That should be the last screen, yes. And yes, I collected flag 5, which is another meme, another meme, because they actually never collect that. Just happened to do because I was thinking. Maybe another advice for any speedrunners out there: don't start to think during your run. Just do your thing. So now I didn't came to explain 3000 meters, but it is divided into flags, 30 flags, and now we are at 1, which is the last flag in the game. We're coming up to the summit here, and the run ends now. Also time. that wasn't clear. Whew. Now we have the prologue. The epilogue. The epilogue where you get this nice screen showing what time you get. And I'm actually amazed that it is sub 35. I didn't expect that. I got the feeling that I was messing up a lot. So, what time is that in real time now? 38, not too bad. Oof. Okay, so that is Celeste any percent. It's a very nice category, and this game is very nice to learn as a speedrunner. So if you want to speedrun, this game might be for you. Very easy learning curve, easy to learn how to master. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks UKSG and ESA for having me. And funniest part of any percent, doing strats you don't actually do, but you just decide within the run that you try a new thing. That's the funniest part of any percent, because it happens all the time. Okay, I think this wraps it up.